Good morning, students. We are doing lesson number 3, subtraction. In the previous videos, I explained subtraction of two-digit numbers in expanded form and vertical subtraction by regrouping. Okay, that is regrouping tens to ones. We regroup tens to ones because we are borrowing from tens place. In addition, as I told you earlier also, in addition, we regroup from ones to tens because we carry forward ones to tens places. And in subtraction, we regroup tens to ones because we are borrowing from tens places. So we have done subtraction of two-digit numbers in expanded form and vertical subtraction without regrouping. Okay, we have done word problems also. Now today I will be explaining how do we check subtraction. That means how do we check whether the answer is correct or not. So we can check the answer of subtraction in two ways. Checking subtraction by addition and checking subtraction by subtraction. First I will explain how do we check subtraction by addition. That means when we subtract one number from another, we get the answer. So how do we check whether the answer is correct or not? So first we will do it by checking subtraction by addition. Now see the example. In the example you can see we are subtracting 43 from 65. Okay. So when by subtracting 43 from 65, the answer we get is 22. Okay. Now when you add the answer and the smaller number, in subtraction we subtract the smaller number from the greater number. So when you add the answer which we get and the smaller number, we get the bigger number. If we get the same bigger number from which we subtracted the smaller number, then your answer is correct. Now see the example. Here the subtraction is 65 minus 43. So subtracting 43 from 65, we get 22. Okay. And now when you add this 22 to 43, what do you get? You get 65. That means your answer is correct. Okay. So this is how we check subtraction by addition. Now see the sums. Find the difference and check your answer by addition. First is 44 minus 21. Now 4 minus 1 is equal to 3 and 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Okay. So the answer is 23. Now for checking, when you add this 23 and the smaller number is 21, when you add 23 and 21, what do you get? 3 plus 1 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, 44. That means your answer is correct. Okay. So this is how we check subtraction by addition. Now let us do the next one. Next sum is 39 minus 12. Now when we subtract 2 from 9, what do we get? We get 7 and 3 minus 1 is 2. So answer is 27. Now when you add this 27 and the smaller number, that is 12, what do you get? 7 plus 2 is equal to 9 and 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, 39. So here we are subtracting from 39. So answer is correct. Okay. Now next is 68 minus 39. Now can you subtract 9 from 8? 8 is smaller than 9. We cannot subtract 9 from 8. So what do? We borrow 110 from tens place. Okay, we will regroup tens. So when we borrow 110 from tens place, we are left with 5 tens, and this 10 is added to 8 ones. So 10 plus 8 is equal to 18. Okay, and now you subtract. 18 minus 9 is equal to 9, and here we are left with 5. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And now you add this answer, that is 29 and 39. So when you add 29 plus 39, 9 plus 9 is equal to 18. So the answer is more than 10. So we write the digit at one's place here, 18, that is we write 8 here, and we carry forward 1 to the tens place. And adding tens, we get 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. So we get 68, which is the bigger number here. So that means our subtraction is correct. Now again, the next is 39 minus 29. So 9 minus 9 is 0, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay. Now when we add the answer, that is 10, and the smaller number, that is 29, we get the bigger number, that is 9, and 2 plus 1, 3. 39, which is the bigger number. So that this means our answer is correct. Now next is 42 minus 27. Again, 2 is smaller than 7. So can you subtract 7 from 2? We cannot subtract. So what do? We have to borrow. We will borrow 110 from tens place. So when we borrow 110 from tens place, we are left with 3 here, and here it becomes, we add this 10 ones with 2. So we get 12 ones. Now subtract. 12 minus 7 is equal to 5, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Now add this answer, that is 15, with the smaller number, that is 27. And what do you get? 7 plus 5 is equal to 12. 2, carry forward 1, and adding the tens, we get 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4, which is the bigger number here. So that means our subtraction is correct. Okay. Now last sum is 50 minus 19. So again, we cannot subtract any number from 0. So for this, what do? We borrow 110 from here. So borrowing 110 from here means this becomes 4 here, and this 10 will be added with 0. So 10 plus 0 is 10 only. Now you do the subtraction. 10 minus 9 is 1, and 4 minus 1 is 3, 31. And when we add this 31 with the smaller number, that is 19, what do we get? 9 plus 1, 10. We write 0 here and carry forward 1. And adding tens, we get 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5, which is the bigger number. Okay. So this is how we check subtraction by addition. Okay. Subtraction by addition. So subtraction by addition, we subtract one number from another number, and then when we add the answer and the smaller number, we get the bigger number from which we have subtracted. We get the same number, that means our subtraction is correct. Now we will do checking subtraction by subtraction. Okay. When you subtract one number from another, you get the answer, and in subtraction, the answer is known as difference. When we add two numbers, we get another number, and that number is known as sum of two numbers. And when we do subtraction, when we subtract one number from another, the answer which we get is known as difference of two numbers. Okay. So when you subtract one number from another, you get another number, and that when the difference of two numbers is subtracted from the greater number, we get the smaller number. Okay. In addition, when we checked it, subtraction by addition, what we did, we added the answer and the smaller number. But here in checking subtraction by subtraction, when we subtract the smaller number by the when we subtract the answer by the bigger number, we get the smaller number. That is, when the difference of two numbers is subtracted from the greater number, we get the smaller number. Now see the example here. This is 96 minus 34. So when you subtract 34 from 96, the difference we get is 62. And when we subtract this difference, that is 62, from the bigger number, that is 96, we get the smaller number. Okay. So this is how we check subtraction by subtraction. Now we will do some examples. First is 99 minus 65. 9 minus 5 is equal to 4 and 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. So the difference of these two numbers is 34, and when you subtract this answer from the bigger number, that is when you do 99 minus 34, you get 9 minus 4 is equal to 5 and 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. You get the smaller number, which is 65. So that means our sum is correct. So when we subtract difference of two numbers from the greater number, and if we get the smaller number, that means our answer is correct. Okay. We can say that yes, our sum is correct. So now next is 78 minus 43. So 8 minus 3 is equal to 5 and 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Okay. So difference of 78 and 43 is 35. And when you subtract this 35 from greater number, that is 78 minus 35. What do you get? This is 3. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3 and 7 minus 3 is equal to 4, which is the smaller number. That means our sum is correct. Okay. Now next is 90 minus 63. Now here you cannot subtract 3 from 0. So what do? We borrow 1 tenth from tens place. So when we borrow 1 tenth from tens place, it becomes 8 here and this is 10. Now 10 minus 3 is 7 and 8 minus 6 is 2. We get the answer as 27, and when you subtract this 27 from the greater number, that is 90, what do you get? 90 minus 27. Now again we cannot subtract 7 from 0, so we borrow 1 10 from here. So this is 8 and this is 10. So 10 minus 7 is equal to 3 and 8 minus 2 is 6, 63, which is the smaller number. So our answer is correct. Now next sum is 46 minus 9. So again we will borrow 1 tenth from tens place, since we cannot subtract 9 from 6. So when we borrow 1 tenth, this is 3 here and this is 16 here. And when we subtract 9 from 16, we get 7 and 3. The answer is 37. And when you subtract this 37 from 46, 46 minus 37, we borrow 1 10 from here. So this is 16 and here it is 3. So 16 minus 7 is 9 and 3 minus 3 is 0. This is the smaller number. So that means our sum is correct. Okay. Next is 51 minus 26. Now again we cannot subtract 6 from 1. So we borrow 1 10 from tens place. So this becomes 11 and this becomes 4. So 11 minus 6 is 5 and 4 minus 2 is 2. And now when you subtract this answer from the bigger number, that is 51 minus 25, What do you get? 11 minus 5 is 6 and 4 minus 2 is 2, 26, which is the smaller number. So hence our answer is correct. Okay. And the last sum is 91 minus 25. Again, we cannot subtract 5 from 1. So we borrow 110 from here. So after borrowing, this becomes 8 and this becomes 11. So 11 minus 5 is 6 and 8 minus 2 is 6. When we subtract this answer from the bigger number, that is 91 minus 66, what do we get? So again we will borrow. So 11 minus 6 is 5 and 8 minus 6 is 2, 25, which is the smaller number. So this means our sum is correct. So this is how we check subtraction by subtraction. So there are two ways of checking a subtraction. One is checking subtraction by addition and another is checking subtraction by subtraction. Now next is activity worksheet 5, which is based on subtraction. Now in this activity worksheet, this is a fun exercise. Subtract and encircle the answer in the grid. The answers can be found horizontally and vertically. One is done for you. Now see the first one, 325 minus 213. And the answer is 112. So 112, can you find 112 in the grid? It is vertically. So you can find the answers horizontally as well as vertically. I will do few sums to explain the concept. Take the next sum, 478 minus 305. So 8 minus 5 is 3, 7 minus 0 is 7 and 4 minus 3 is 1, 173. So where is 173 in the grid? It is here, horizontal, 173. Okay. In this way, you can find all the answers. We'll take few more examples. 936 minus 712. 6 minus 2 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 9 minus 7 is again 2. You can check the answer also. Checking subtraction by addition, that is when we add the smaller number and the answer, we get the bigger number. So you can check it here. 2 plus 2 is equal to, 6 minus 2 is 4. See, I caught the mistake. 6 minus 2 is 4 and I had written 2. So when we check the subtraction, we can find out if we have made any mistake. Okay. So now 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 and 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. So find this answer in the grid, 224. So where is it? It is here, 224. Okay. Next, we'll take a few more examples. Next, 729 minus 217. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1 and 7 minus 2 is 5. And check the subtraction. 7 plus 2, 9. 1 plus 1, 2. 5 plus 2, 7. That means our subtraction is correct. Now find 512 in the grid. Where is 512? It is here, 512. Now see this one, 91 minus 56. Here we cannot subtract 6 from 1. So we will borrow 1/10 from here. So this is 8 and this is 11. 10 plus 1, 11. Now 11 minus 6 is 5 and 8 minus 5 is 3. 35. Where is 35? Can you see 35? Find 35 in the grid. 35, 35, 35. It is here. Vertical, 35. Okay. So similarly, you can complete this activity sheet. Okay. Activity worksheet 5 you can complete. Now, life skills. Life skills, as I told you, life skills means the skills which help you in your day-to-day life. when you if you go to the market, you go to the shops, okay, you go, your mother wants to buy some vegetables, so you go to a greengrocer, you buy the vegetables and he adds the money and he tells you the total amount which you have to give. Now that greengrocer, maybe he has never been to a school, okay, हो सकता है वो ग्रीन ग्रोसर जो है वेजिटेबल वाला कभी भी स्कूल ना गया हो, बट ही नोज हाउ टू कैलकुलेट, okay, because he is doing it every day. So this is called life skill, so which you can learn and which helps you in your day to day life. So in a forest there were 475 trees, out of which 253 were cut down by a timber merchant. Timber is wood. Timber is wood. So people cut trees for wood, for making furniture and other things. So out of 475 trees, 253 were cut down by a timber merchant. How many trees are left? So for this, what do we do? Out of 475 trees, how many trees are cut? 253 trees were cut. So how many trees are left now? So that is 475 minus 253. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, and you can add the subtraction also. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 2 plus 5, 7, and 2 plus 2, 4. So how many trees were left? 222 trees were left after cutting some trees. And B is, should we cut down trees? क्या हमें पेड़ काटने चाहिए? What do you say? No, we should not cut trees because we get so many things from trees, and most importantly we get fresh air from tree. We get oxygen from trees which we breathe in. Without oxygen we cannot survive, and we get so many other things from trees. So we should not cut trees. With this, children, we have completed lesson number 3, that is subtraction. Okay, and I hope it is clear to all of you. I will solve the exercises and post the solved exercises in Snap homework. So tomorrow in my next video I will start next lesson, that is multiplication, lesson number 4, multiplication. Thank you, children.